Hey guys, how's it going? Today I wanted to talk about the subject of should colleges be free? Well, in my opinion, straight out, I feel that colleges, university tuition, just in general, should be free. Because the problem is that our society lives in a place where that people who have education actually really thrive, and people who don't have education, they don't. And even when you think that they don't have the regular type of education, which is math and literature and all these good things such as writing, numbers and all that stuff, and sciences, in a lot of ways we say that we're not educated, but at the same time we could say that education could be from somebody who learned how to fix cars perfectly, or kind of like the day trade jobs that basically are replacing air conditionings and building computers and doing a lot of the things that maybe doesn't require as much brain power in some way in the regular type of way that we think of math and science, English. But at the same time, if you're not smart enough, you're not going to be able to fix that car. You're not going to be able to replace that air conditioning and make the rooftop of this building and all that stuff. So obviously, if you're not able to do that stuff, you're not smart enough to be able to do it, then you're not getting anywhere. So it's really important to actually do that. So I do think that tuition should be free, and there's many places in Europe where tuition is maybe not 100% free, but it's very close to be, whereas in America we tend to live in a society where we're in a point in this world where young people go to college and then they do 4 years of university, and they start life with enormous amounts of debt. And if you're starting life with enormous amounts of debt, then basically you're getting into a place where either you can stay dumb, because a lot of high schools and stuff like that middle schools, high schools don't really teach you, let's say the free ones, maybe even some of the private ones, they don't really teach you enough, because they're just like, no kid left behind. They don't want to make people fail. They just want to make sure that you go to college, and you go to college if you want to have that further education, but we'll give you just enough to say you are able to read and do some basic math, and then if you really want to improve yourself upon that, then it's up to you to pay that money and decide on a career. And that's really the problem, is that by keeping the people ignorant, you're able to keep that wealthier society in power, because that means that less people would be able to have that knowledge, because maybe some people are smart, but they need that push in order to be able to actually learn those skills. And if they don't learn them at a young age, sometimes they get that in their mind that maybe they're dumb and they just can't learn, whereas actually maybe they're super intelligent, but because they don't have that possibility of learning the things, or even like such as their parents in some way, they're not teaching them the right skills, then they become ignorant, and they stay ignorant because that's what they were taught from a very young age again. So I think it is important to try to figure out a way where you can give that education and not be so greedy. The people in power should not be so stuck upon the fact that they need to remain at that same level, or that they need to make more money, because they already have the money, and if they're smart, they can keep on making that money. So really, they shouldn't be so scared of having the people who maybe had less luck in the past centuries make it, and let them make it. So if you're able to give free tuition, then those people can actually learn. If you really think about it, obviously if you're living in a city, you're living in a country that's not third world, and even in third world, there's taxes. You got to pay taxes to survive, and you got to pay taxes to do things. So if you're paying taxes, I think it should be our right in some way that those taxes don't just go to the armies, and at the place of creating wars, which are always expensive, all these countries could just basically think more about peace and self-improvement and let everybody thrive, let everybody have an education, let everybody be able to learn things and basically once again thrive. I mean, we fought so many centuries to get to this point where we do have comfort of heat, cold when you want it, cars, planes, all these excursions, fun things that can be done, such as going to the movies or video games or entertainment places or bars or cafes and clothes and whatever you like to do for fun. So we fought for so many centuries. Our ancestors have fought for so many centuries in order to get us to this point. And all of that just to chain us with not giving us the education that can be so easily given. After all, if people are more educated, we have more scientists, we have more doctors, we have more people that can invent things to make our life even easier. So why not have the country invest that money on the people that live in that country and in the world and basically give them that education? Make them thrive, make them learn. Because if you invest in the people, it'll come back to you 10,000 times. There'll be less sick. There'll be less people stealing. There'll be more people sharing. There'll be more people that are happy with life. Their lives will be longer. People don't have to die so much. And at the same time, a big thing about education is that in the end, it'll take away a lot of wars, I think. Because again, when they say third world countries, it's usually places that have not had so much technology and they're poor. So either they're stuck in old beliefs that create chaos, or they're just suffering so much that they either try to immigrate to a country by coming illegally and crossing deserts and oceans and all these things in order to basically survive. And then when they get to these places that are first world countries, we treat them like shit. And the thing is that they shouldn't even have to, because if the world was a better place, we'd have been able to help them in whatever place they're at, because the world is the world, and all places have air, and with the ways that there's so much wealth, getting water to places and getting electricity to places and getting clothes and stuff and food is not that difficult, really. The world is pretty small. At the same time, it's big, but with all the technology we have, it's not a problem to give them all that stuff. It really isn't. So if there was a way that we could help better, then we'd be able to literally have more education. And with more education, people would be less poor and they would be more happy and live better. So I really do think that countries need to not have people start their life in debt. It's not good. You need to be able to survive, you know? But anyways, that's all I have to say about it. Have a great day. Bye.